Sixth way is Dravya Yagna, offering wealth. Dravya means material things and the wealth. Now, traditionally, when we donate things to others, it is money or food that we donate. But it doesn't have to be only material things like food and money. You can give love, affection, care, consideration for others. These are also things that you are able to give others. You offer wealth. Distribution of honestly earned wealth. Now, you can give money, but the money that you give to others or to charity should be honestly earned money. Gurudev says that there are people who make money the unfair means and they accumulate an enormous wealth. And when you ask them, how come you are doing this? And they say, well, because of the fact that I have so much money, I am able to give $100,000 every year to Salvation Army, and I give such and such amount of money to this wealth, to this charity, and so on. That's like, he says, the devil quoting the Bible. That is not what the Dravya Yagna means. Honestly earned wealth can be distributed to others by you. Dravya not only means money and food, but also emotions and ideas and affection. You don't need to be rich and you don't need to be healthy to be able to give this Dravya Yagna. Even if you are poor or even if you are disabled, you still can help others. How? By giving your love, your caring and your consideration. I'm sure you know, people say that to frown, you need to do a lot more work than to smile. The muscles of our face have to do a lot more work and spend more energy to frown than to smile. So just one smile at somebody might change the day for that person. So even if you are poor and disabled, you can still give happiness to others by being caring and considerate towards others. That's Dravya Yagna. Others practice austerities and penance called vratas. Now we all know that people fast every now and then. Now fasting is also a good way of offering your sacrifices to the Lord. Now the Lord is not going to benefit by me fasting. So what is the idea of me fasting? It is when I fast, I exercise some self-control. And to that extent of the self-control that I have practiced, to that extent my mind becomes more disciplined and purified. So the austerities and penance, it accomplishes self-control. Then others worship of the Lord. The other form of yagna is the worship of the Lord, called upasanas, without any desire or motive. Meaning, when you worship the Lord, most of us, if not all of us, we worship the Lord only because we want something. You pray to the Lord saying, please Lord, help me with this and help me with that. Make sure that my family is healthy. Make sure that I get this and I get that. So without any desires or selfish motives, you worship the Lord for what it is. Meaning that He is the one who is sustaining my life, and it is because of Him that I am given this opportunity to live in this world and do potential good to others. And because of that, I am grateful and thankful to the Lord. With that kind of attitude, when you do worship, that's called upasana. Then Swadhyaya Yagna, meaning study of the scriptures. Swadhyaya, study of the scriptures, and reflection, self-study and self-reflection to understand the import of the scriptures so that I can benefit from whatever I have studied. Swadhyaya Yoga, self-study, to understand our own weaknesses. We understand where we were going wrong and correct them with those understandings. And the 10th one is Gnayna Yagna. Gnayna Yagna is where it is a word coined by Vyasa to indicate where these talks are given of scriptures all over. And when you listen to these talks on scriptures, we come to those lectures with our old ideas. But when we hear new ideas at these lectures, we are expected to give up those old ideas and replace them with these new ideas. That is the idea of Gnayna Yagna, to give up old habits and ideas and cultivate new ones based on the new logical information that we have received. That's Gnayna Yagna, to give up old ideas in the fire of new knowledge. And 11th one is Pranayama. We talked about the prana. So Pranayama again is control of all the physiological functions, but it is practiced mainly by breath control. So that's where the confusion came about. So pranayama is practiced as breath control, where you control the amount of air going out and the air going in. You control that in certain ways by which you gain enormous control over your own physiological functioning. There are some names that are given. Puraka means offer the incoming air into the outgoing air. It is a practice where I don't know much about pranayama, but this is what I gather, that when you practice pranayama, you try to offer into the incoming air a little bit of the outgoing air. It's a practice that you do. And Rekaka is offering outgoing air into the incoming air. And then Kumbhaka is the interval between the intake and output of the air. Now a different proportion of these, incoming and outgoing air and the interval in between, by controlling that, you learn to control the 5 physiological functions, which are ordinarily beyond our control at this time. So by practice of pranayama, yogis are able to control their circulation, their heartbeat, their digestion. They can control all that by practicing pranayama, and that they offer as sacrifice to the Lord. So pranayama is another yagna that is offered to the Lord. Then ahara yagna. There are others who watch what they eat. That doesn't mean that, dieting is a yagna. Watching what you eat, meaning anything that you take in, you control whatever that you take in. Not only food, but anything else. Right now, any and every stimulus that comes from outside gains access into my mind. My mind is like a public restroom. Anyone can walk in and do whatever they want. But this mind has to be a sacred thing. I should be able to control who comes in, and I should be the one to stop anyone from coming in if I don't think that is an appropriate person. That is a way by which I control ahara, meaning getting something that's coming in. It also means watching what you eat, a certain amount, certain kinds of food that you eat which are healthy and wholesome. Now, these 12 yagnas are recommended. If we practice one or a few of them or all of them, they would help in calming our mind and purifying our mind. It's called the Antakarana Shuddhi, meaning we are purifying our mind through these practices. It doesn't mean that these are 12 different paths that lead to 12 different destinations. All these 12 different paths lead to one, which is the final pathway of meditation. By practicing any of these or all of these, we purify and calm our mind to that extent where our meditation becomes very intense. And through intense meditation, we can realize the Brahman that's in us. Now obviously, all these 12 require self-effort. That is the one common thing for all these, self-effort. Now self-effort, as you know, is an important ingredient in anything in this worldly life itself. If you want anything in life, you've got to put out your effort. By sitting at home and wishing for something, it doesn't happen. In the same way, in all these things, we can understand all these things intellectually, but unless we put our effort in, it's not going to produce results. So self-effort is absolutely necessary. All of the above help in purifying our sins, Antakarana Shuddhi. Self-effort is a common factor. It is needed to accomplish anything even in this material world. All these paths prepare one for the intense meditation, which is the ultimate pathway to realize the divinity in us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.